Jaguar Duff with RM Sotheby's. I'm head of auctions, and today I'm driving one of our feature cars for our Shift Monterey sale, which is the 1964 Ferrari Lusso. This car is one of 5 that we're selling for the late Dr. Raymond Boniface from Ohio, this being one of his prized possessions that he kept up until his passing. This particular Ferrari is the 235th Lusso built out of 350, and Dr. Boniface purchased this car in 1974, and the family has owned it until its offering with us next weekend. This car is completely original aside from having one repaint at some point in its life. And another special fact about it is that it's the only car that was ever finished, the only Lusso finished in ivory with a red interior. And it's just an amazing car to drive. And for anybody that has driven an original car, they just drive completely different than anything else.
My name is Ken On. I'm the president and CEO of RM Sotheby's. Since March, it's been incredibly busy, and the success of our online platform has been beyond our wildest imaginations. Through June, we have more than $55 million in total sales online, which is a huge feat.
RM Sotheby's online-only platform is unique because it has the breadth and depth of the entire RM experience. The only difference really between a live RM event and an online event is that you're in the comfort of your home, but frankly, everything else is taking place. We're very proud of the fact that our online-only platform is surely the most comprehensive in the industry. Every team member on the RM team, whether it's research, cataloging, photography, PR and marketing, all the way to administration, logistics, transport, you name it, they're involved every single step of the way.
Everything you would expect from RM in terms of client experience, the interaction, the bidder registration, the consignment process, the research and cataloging, they're all very, very consistent. I would say there's a lot more similarities than differences. The only difference is the channel through which we sell the cars. The online platform has really caused us to think a lot more about our long-term plans and strategy. We knew that online was a significant growth opportunity for us, but now the interesting question is, how do you balance the two? And frankly, I think both of them will be perfectly viable and with significant growth opportunities.
Although we're in very trying times, of course, we're very proud of the fact that RM Sotheby's pivoted so quickly with our online-only platform. And any preconceived notions about what it was capable of were quickly shattered with 2 world records broken in a matter of a month.
I think of Ferrari as the most successful Formula One team in history. It really forged its racing dominance in sports car racing, particularly with GT cars. We're joined here by some of their most successful models, including a 550 GTS, 1 class win at Le Mans, and Spa 24 Hours winner. A 250 LM, well, these took the overall win at Le Mans in 1965 and had a complete class podium lockout. And finally, a 1961 Ferrari 250 short wheelbase CFAC hot rod. But there was one other car that Ferrari had that really dominated proceedings in period, and that was the Daytona Competizione. These cars were extraordinary. Their competition career started in 1969 and went all the way to 1981. How many race cars can you say raced for 12 years during their entire life in contemporary racing? During that time, they took 3 Le Mans class wins, a Tour de France overall win, and 2 overall podium finishes at the Daytona 24 Hours among 3 class wins there. An extraordinary record for such a car. Ferrari built 5 Series 1, 5 Series 2 and 5 Series 3 cars over 3 years. In addition to the 15 factory cars, there were further 10 examples prepared by privateers such as Holman and Moody and Francorchamps. This pinstripe Sunoco blue example is one of those privateer cars prepared by Holman and Moody for Kirk F. White. Kirk F. White took his brand new road car straight to Holman and Moody, who went completely through the car, fitting a whole host of upgrades. One of the most important of these was the engine, which they sent to Traco. Traco managed to get 450 brake horsepower out of this engine. Only 6 cars are documented to have had this much horsepower. Those are the 5 Series 3 factory cars and this example. The one thing that this car has over all of those factory cars were the Ford GT40 Mark IV brakes fitted by Holman & Moody. No other Daytona got these in period, and these brakes really removed the Achilles heel of this model. More recently, it's received Ferrari Classic A certification, a really important document as it verifies all of its Holman & Moody upgrades and confirming its superior specification. This wonderful car is ready to be enjoyed in some of the finest events around the world, race, road or rally.
Silver lining to me is empty roads for people to actually get to use and enjoy their cars right now and decide whether those are ones that they want to keep or if there's something else they'd rather experience. And that's allowing them to just transact and try new things or enjoy what they have or, you know, really just keep the hobby going in a lot of different ways.
It's a similar thing in London in that we have had this period of time where collectors, buyers, sellers, owners have really had the ability to sit and think about what they want out of their cars, what they want to use them for, what they have always promised themselves. Even people that don't have classic cars have now, I think, thought about it and realized that life is short and that you have to do what you want to do. And that forces the market to have a natural cycle of revolution and cycle of people buying and selling, upgrading. And that's, I think, been a real positive, that people have really focused what they like, what they don't like, and that's ensured that people have started to sell things and started to buy other things. I think the most important thing to observe, just looking at the car, is to take the time to properly stand a ways back from it and observe the whole car and take time to really just look around it in its entirety. And then you can delve into the individual details of, like, what's the engine bay like? What's the real quality of the paint like from panel to panel? Are the panels matching in their color? Are they consistent in their color? It takes time to get your eye in with classic cars and observing what makes a really great restoration from an average restoration to a poor restoration.
Well, the Colt Daytona is it's an interesting car. It's not often these cars are traded, and it's particularly rare to see a good one at auction. So it's going to be like a good test for our online platform. The car itself is it's fantastic to drive. The noise is absolutely incredible. It's got a really interesting history. It's got kind of, apart from, obviously it's not a factory competition Daytona, but it's still an independently prepared, factory recognized, Classic K certified car. So it's the next best thing, and obviously its price reflects that. But it'll be a really interesting test for the auction. It's a great car, and we're very excited to have it.
Yeah, I think we're always just looking for the best of examples, regardless of it being online or in person or whatever. Monterey is, the Super Bowl, the World Series, whatever you want, always where you want to present the best part of the year. So, whether it's a Volkswagen thing or a 23 window bust or a Ferrari 250 GTO, you want to find the best examples that are the nicest restored, the history. Something that everyone loves, that everybody appreciates.
I tell people that I'm a professional time traveler. That's what I do. This museum is very special because, to my knowledge, we're the only museum that is tactile with classic cars, meaning in our showroom we allow our guests to get into the vehicles, experience them as their original owners would have. Every Sunday we take 3 different cars out of the collection and we will take our guests for a ride. You go through the gears, you get up to about 40 miles an hour, so you get to experience what it was like.
The automobile collector hobby has been aging out, and it's generally recognized all over the place that we have to interest the young people. If somebody doesn't preserve this iron, nobody's going to get to know anything about it.
Keeping that interest alive is incredibly important, and allowing younger people to come in and touch these vehicles where they ordinarily would not be able to. It's unlike anywhere else. Our 1930 Stutz Monte Carlo is a custom coach-built car by Wyman. So the entire body of the car is constructed out of ash wood and then upholstered over in a leather-type material. Only 3 were ever built. 3 are still in existence. Thankfully, we have one of them. The Stutz is definitely our crown jewel. It's our finest car. The car does make a dramatic statement. It definitely draws a lot of attention. A lot of people ask, well, has it been shopped? Is it custom? Is it this? Is it that? No, that's the way it came. That's just the beauty of a Wyman coach-built car.
You take a look at a piece, an engine accessory, and it's done by an artist. It's literally a work of art.
When you drive it, you feel like an absolute emperor. It's an incredible automobile. There is nothing finer than being in that vehicle. The future of the museum is quite bright. We're a small staff, but we're a young staff, and we have a lot of bright ideas and hope and dreams for this place to bring classic cars into a new age, find new ways to use them and experience them, and bring that forward to future generations as well.
I'm Ramsey Potts, car specialist with RM Sotheby's. Let's talk about a very special automobile available to you in our online Monterey auction. Sir William Lyons introduced to the world following the war the Jaguar XK 120s. And what was born was an iconic series of sports cars. When the 120 was introduced, the world was hungry. They were ready for an exciting, sleek sports car. His amazing engineer, Bill Hines, provided the motivation. As the XK series evolved, following the 120 came the 140, a car with a few more creature comforts and space inside the cockpit, and then the final iteration, the XK 150. Behind me is an XK 150, but this is a very special model. This is the 3.8-liter Type S. And not only is it just that, the ultimate iteration of the XK series, but it is the very first one. Known by its registration of YHP791, this particular car was the first time that Jaguar had introduced to the world its 265 horsepower, 3.8-liter engine with a 9-to-1 compression ratio head, and most importantly, triple SU HD8 carburetors. At the time of its introduction, the car was able to do 0 to 60 in 7.6 seconds. That's a time that compares, quite frankly, well with today's touring or sports cars. One of the best parts about the XK 150 was not only its driveline, but it is believed to be the first standard production automobile ever offered to the world with 4-wheel Dunlop disc brakes. In this particular example, not only do you have incredible motivation, but you have record-breaking stopping power as well. Now, this particular 3.8 has an incredible story to tell. We have lots of documentation proving its life, and of course there have been some special names that have been shared with this particular automobile. Jacques Nasser, former CEO of Ford Motors, and even in 1969 for a brief period of time in the care of one Sotheby's Corporation in London. Should you choose to use this particular automobile even today in the way that it was meant to on tours or rallies, it also has period-correct air conditioning, so you can not only go well, but you can be comfortable while you do it.